My name is Ross Denny Giles, and I'm a JD MPA student here at Queen's Law, and I'm in my third and final year here. I'm also the Law Student Society president, as the banner helpfully lets you know. And for the next hour or so, I'll also be your host. We just want to let everyone know that this event is being recorded. And on the right side of your webpage, so beside the video, there is a area where you can enter questions that you might have, and we'll have a bit of a question and answer period at the end of this event. So we're going to go through a number of different speakers. First, we're going to hear from our dean, Mark Walters. Then we're going to hear from Julie Banting, the director of our Career Development Office. Stacia Loft, our director of Indigenous Initiatives and EDI programs. Hugo Choquette, our adjunct assistant professor and academic director of the Queen's Certificate in Law. Blair Crew, the director of Queen's Legal Aid. And then myself and two other students will wrap it up, giving you a bit of a perspective of our experience so far. So first up, we're going to hear from our dean, Mark Walters, and I'd like to welcome him to the stage now.
Great. Thank you very much, Ross. It's a real delight to be with you this evening. Ross is kindly agreed to host this event, and Ross is a bit of a victim of his own success. He's done this before, and as a former actor, he has the flair for this kind of job. So thanks, Ross, and you'll be hearing from Ross in a few moments with a report from the LSS. I'd like to begin simply by acknowledging that Queens is located on the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples. And as you can appreciate, this is an important part of their identities. As you will remember from your time at Queens, it's a beautiful place where the waters of Lake Ontario flow into the St. Lawrence River. And these waters and lands are central to the identities of our Indigenous neighbors. And of course, most of you are joining us from other parts of the country or beyond, and you may wish to think about the importance of territory and place for the Indigenous peoples of your location. As it happens, I happen to be in the UK right now, in London. And so in a sense, I'm beaming in from the former center of the empire. I'm about a block from Trafalgar Square, and earlier today walked past St. James Palace, where King George III on October 7th, 1763, issued the Royal Proclamation of 1763, which remains an important constitutional document for Canada and for the protection of Aboriginal land rights. So that was something I paused to think about today. I'm here delivering a paper at a conference, and this is the first chance I've had to travel for any kind of work-related reason in over a year and a half. So it's actually real fun to be here. So welcome, everyone. We have people joining from all over the place, within Canada, at least, from British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, Quebec, and Nova Scotia. And we're just delighted that you can be here to get an update on the law school and get some perspective on what's going on in your law school, so that you can feel connected, even though you can't come back and visit in person. Well, naturally, you can come back and visit in person, but the official homecoming, at least, is for the moment virtual, because we do care about the safety, the health and safety of everyone. And we hope this is the last phase of this pandemic, and that we can meet together again for homecoming in person next year. Let's keep our fingers crossed on that. So just a bit of an update on your law school. What's going on here? I guess the biggest news is we're actually, in terms of teaching, we are back in person. That's a significant step for us. All of our classes, except just a handful, are in person. And the return to the building after a year and a half of that building, your law school building being empty was quite a significant step. We have safety and health precautions in place still. No physical distancing in classrooms, but all students are masked. There are parts of the building where physical distancing is required. So it's, in terms of regulating the movement of people, complex. And layered on top of that is a mandatory vaccination policy, which again, for the university was a complex and difficult policy to put into place at the beginning of this term. But I'm happy to report it's going relatively well. It's going as smoothly as we could hope, to be honest. And I have the sense that students are just delighted to be back in person in their classes and having a chance to interact with each other and, of course, their professors. So I want to just give some thanks to the people who made all of this possible, the assistant deans in particular, Philip Drew, the assistant dean of the JD program, Deanna Morash, the assistant dean of administration and finance, and our associate deans as well, Professors Gail Henderson, Art Cofield, and Josh Carton. It's just, I can tell you, the dean is, the person in my position is so fortunate to have a great cast of characters who actually are doing the hard work of running this law school. And I'm grateful for their expertise and energy. Leaving COVID aside, what else is going on? Well, we just adopted a strategic framework for the next 5 years. It sets out our goals and priorities and a list of tasks that we have to accomplish. And so we've given ourselves a really tough list of things to do. And so including a review of our curriculum and the modes of delivery of the JD program. We want to make sure that we are providing the very best legal education to our students that we can. So that is something that we will certainly be asking for input from you as alumni as we go forward with implementing the plan. We have launched a new graduate diploma in immigration and citizenship law. This is a massive undertaking for us. All new immigration consultants in Canada must have this diploma, and we offer the English language version, and the French language version is offered at University of Montreal. So at the moment, we have over 400 students in that program. It's an online program. It launched in January, and we're just delighted at the success of the program so far. It's a really important program, we think, to bring access to justice to some of the more vulnerable people in our society, those people crossing borders, immigrating, and seeking refugee status. Our JD program is in very good shape. We have accepted a wonderful class this year. Around 208 students are in the first year class. And about 208 graduated in 2021. The size of the class is bigger than many of you will remember your class size was. And you might ask yourself, what impact is the increase of the class size, which took place about 6 or 7 years ago, has it had on the ability of students to get jobs? And I'm delighted to report that our director of career development is with us, Julie Banting, but I will steal part of her show and say 97% of our students graduating this past spring graduated with a job, an articling position or a clerkship. So just fantastic. And I'm going to thank Julie Banting right now and her team for the incredible work that they do for our students. I'm going to thank Blair Crew, who's going to speak later as well, and the others involved in the clinic program. The law clinics are thriving. I think they are, in many respects, the jewel in our crown of our academic and learning experience for students, certainly the key to experiential learning for our students. And Blair Crew is the director of Queen's Legal Aid, but we have 5 clinics altogether: family law, elder law, business law, and prison law as well. And the executive director of the whole the umbrella unit of clinics is Carla McGrath, and I want to thank her for her hard work, as well as Blair and the other directors of the individual clinics. Many of you will have attended the castle and will remember that castle fondly. And you may even have overlapped with me. I've been to the castle a number of times over the years. What happened to the castle in the last 2 years? Well, it did not disappear. It's still there. We just haven't seen it. Nobody's been able to go. But the program did not stop. I'm pleased to say the castle program went online, and we had about 60 students enrolled in the spring term in the castle program. We've made a number of important hiring decisions, and one of those people that has recently joined us is you will hear from in a moment, and her name is Stacia Loft. She's occupies a position that is new, and so is in effect inventing and developing this position. She's the director of Indigenous Initiatives and Equity, Diversity, and Inclusivity Programs. And she'll be managing a team of people working hard to ensure that the law school is inclusive in all respects, from recruitment all the way through to graduation, for Indigenous students and members of distinct and marginalized communities, ethnic, racial, or otherwise. Stacia will introduce herself in a moment, but she's a graduate of the law school, a member of the Ontario Bar, and a member of the Tyendinaga Mohawk community. I should also mention that we are investing in development and advancement, and we have a new director, executive director of development within the law school, Miranda Pugh. And so I want to mention her name in particular because she is somebody that you will, I hope, have an opportunity to meet and be in touch with. And we thought, wouldn't it be wonderful to have somebody with a legal background and fundraising experience? And we thought, probably not very possible to find such a person, although we do have Paul Marcus as our development counsel. And he has both of those backgrounds. And we thought he was the only one, but nope, Miranda Pugh also has the unique background of being a lawyer and a fundraiser. And we're delighted to have her on board. And as I say, I have no doubt that you'll be hearing from her in the months and years to come. We've got a lot of work to do on back to the question of EDII. This relates to our strategic plan as well, in terms of meeting our obligations for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Its call to action for law schools. We've made some improvements, good and important ones. We've got more work to do, so we're looking ahead to doing that. We want to ensure that our law school reflects society. We have a new admissions stream for those students who wish to self-identify as Black and go through that process. We have promoted fundraising campaigns to support both Indigenous and Black students. We've promoted an authentic storytelling through student and alumni submissions for the Black History Month. So there's a lot going on. I hope that you can see some of the things through our social media and our webpage in terms of our attempts to ensure that our law school is providing the kind of community that you would expect us to provide. A top leading law school wishes to ensure that it is meeting the larger demands of Canadian society and society beyond in terms of our responsibilities for access to justice, the administration of justice, and having a society that truly respects the ideals of the rule of law. And this starts right here with our students. The last thing I want to say, and then I'll hand the floor back to Ross, is something about our faculty members. We have grown as a faculty, and we have a lot of people at the early stages of their careers, and it's just fantastic to have new people coming in with fresh ideas and so much energy in terms of teaching, but also their own research and scholarship interests. And they're engaged in trying to solve the pressing problems of today. And they are, if I may say so, and I feel very proud of them. They are just smart, dedicated people who are going to make a difference. I'm very, very sure of that. And they join senior members of faculty, many of whom you will know and remember well and fondly, who are leaders in their fields in Canadian scholarship, teaching, and research. So I think that's going to be it for me. There's going to be a chance for questions and answers later, but I'd like you to hear from other members of the law school, staff, students in particular. So Ross, I'm going to hand it back to you.
I'm back. Thank you very much, Dean Walters. So first we're going to hear from Julie Banting. She's the director of our career development office, and kind of all of the students' collective hero. She kind of gets us through the job search in one piece, and it's been especially difficult online this year, but Julie's handled it like a champion.
Thank you very much, Ross. I appreciate that. Good afternoon, everyone, and I hope you're enjoying the weekend so far. The CDO, or Career Development Offices, manage the career programming and counseling for close to 600 students in the law program. And personally, I think we have one of the best jobs in the law school. One of our goals is to help students explore different areas of law to discover which one will be the best fit for them. And to do this, we run several mentorship programs, and we're very lucky to have such a supportive group of alumni who are willing to pay it forward to the next generation of law students. Many students entered the program with limited touch points to law. So from our perspective, the most important investment that you can give a student is the gift of time. So I wanted to share a short video with you that highlights our programs and the benefits of engagement. So I hope you enjoy the video, and thank you again for your support.
Hello, Queen's Law alumni. I hope you are enjoying homecoming weekend and reconnecting with your classmates. My name is Sarah, and I'm the coordinator in the Career Development Office. I manage the mentorship programs for the CDO, and I am excited to provide you with a brief overview of our programs. At the CDO, we have 3 mentorship programs that all have Queen's Law alumni as mentors. Our largest program is Professional Network, which is also referred to as ProNet. ProNet is a secure online system only accessible by Queen's Law students and is designed to help law students learn from over 500 experienced practitioners about career options through informational interviews that occur over the phone or in email or in person when we are able to do that again. Our next program is the 3Link program. 3Link connects third-year Queen's Law students who are actively seeking articling opportunities with alumni mentors. We have found that students have better success with their job search if they can find mentors who are seasoned professionals and that they are tapped into the legal community. The students are matched based on the area of law that they're interested in and the location they're interested in. The aim of this program is to find meaningful mentorships for these students and to help build and strengthen their contact base as young professionals. The Shadow Day program, which gives first-year students a unique opportunity to observe the day-to-day work of a lawyer. Each student is matched with a Queen's Law alumnus based on the host location and area of practice. This past year, the program was run remotely and it was a huge success. We had 68 sessions, and here to talk about their experiences are 2L Queen's Law students Natalie and David and their mentors Sonia and Noah.
My name is Noah Lesh. I'm an associate at Castles. I graduated Queen's Law in 2015. At Castles, I'm a corporate lawyer working in our business law group with a specialization in franchise law.
My name is David Arya. I'm a second-year student at Queen's Law, and I'm very excited to be here and share my experience.
So, hello, everyone. My name is Sonia Barrette. I am counsel with the Department of Justice in Global Affairs Canada Legal Services Unit, and I graduated from Queen's Law in 2000.
I'm Natalie Zhang, and I'm a TL at Queen's Law now, and Sonia is my host for the Shadow Program.
What made you choose to participate in our Shadow Day program?
I participated because I had been a participant when I was in first year and had really benefited from the experience. So I've been doing it pretty much, I'm not going to say every year, but I think I've done it at least 8 times since I graduated in 2000, and I started with the Department of Justice in 2003.
As anyone who attends Queen's Law knows, the community that we are a part of and that Queen's Law fosters is really, perhaps the best part about attending Queen's, or one of the most special aspects of being a student there and a member of that community. And so it was important to me to continue to stay a part of that community.
And so, Natalie, what drew you to participate in the Shadow Day program?
I come from a working class background. I don't have any law background, and I don't know how it looks like to practice law in public interest area, right?
What do you enjoy most about being a mentor in the Shadow Day program?
It's really a fun day, firstly, just to get to know Queen's Law students each year, to stay in touch with the community, to stay in touch with the student body.
What would you say to other alumni who are considering getting involved with Queen's Law?
I would definitely tell them that they should do it. They should do it at least once and live that experience. And they really should know that they have something to share, even if they may not think so.
I would say do it. There is no shortage of students, I'm sure, who are looking for lawyers to partner with and to shadow for a day. And I know that we're all busy now in our practices and our lives, but we think about where we are in our lives as lawyers today in our practices, and we can all look to some champions who've been in our corner at various stages of our careers. And this is such a great opportunity for Queen's alum to be champions to Queen's students, to help them through the process.
Do you think you will participate as a Shadow Day mentor when you are an alumni, and why?
And for sure, because I want to pass on this love from Sonia to others. And the Shadow Program really opened the door for me to connect with Sonia, who sincerely shared her experiences, not only as a professional legal practitioner, but also as a mom. And I just felt it's so encouraging. It just tells me it's possible, I can do that.
I am so happy that we were able to share these great experiences with you from our previous mentors and mentees. If this information has sparked an interest in you, please feel free to contact me directly through my email listed below, and I would be happy to chat with you on how to engage with the current Queen's Law students. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all the best. Take care.
And we're back. The Shadow Day program really is fantastic. I also participated in it in 1L. So now Dean Walters and I have a bit of a game for you all. We're going to play some trivia. And Dean Walters has kindly volunteered to read the questions. And the way that you will all participate is on the right side of your screen, to the right of your screen, my apologies, there is a panel that says Kahoot. You press that tab, and then you enter the code that you see on the screen right now. That's 1625216. And then you'll be able to create an account. We do have some prizes for the top 3 scorers. So if you'd like to be in contention for those prizes, please use your real first and last name so that we know who to send the prizes to. So yeah, you can just click the tab on the right side of your screen and sign up, and we'll get started in just a minute.
Ross, do you know the answers to all these questions yourself?
I do not. Do you?
I think I do. I'll see.
We'll try not to cheat too much. For contenders so far, is anyone else eager to join us? You can also just follow along without entering your answers. It's all Queen's Law themed trivia, just so we're all aware of what we're competing in, if that makes a difference for you guys. We're gonna give it another 30 seconds or so, and then we'll get started.
I can't say that the first question is an easy one, I think.
You just memorize stuff like that?
Well, a while ago, I had to write a history of the law school. So,
Right. I've actually read that.
You don't have that on your desk, Ross? I thought you'd
I'm getting it framed. It's being framed at the moment, but I will have it back eventually.
Yeah, it's something you should maybe have on your bedside table for, reading.
Nightly refresher.
When you're having trouble sleeping, you might wish to consult it.
All right, well, we're going to get started.
Okay, so the first question, as I say, I think it's an easy one. What year did the modern day Faculty of Law open at Queen's University?
So you choose you choose whichever option you think is the right answer, and add it and press it in your tab. So do you want me to try and answer these?
Well, I think once so I guess that nobody has answered.
Okay,
so
good.
It wasn't, obviously, it's up to you, Ross, to save the day.
1957, of course.
Yeah, you're right, 1957. But was that the first law faculty ever at Queen's?
No, it wasn't.
When was the very first one? This is off the record. I'm not.
I don't know. When was it?
1862.
1862.
It folded within a year and a half because the Law Society of Upper Canada would not accredit the law school or any university law school in Ontario until 1957. Okay, so who are the three founding faculty members of Queen's Law?
Ooh. I know Dan Soberman was one of them, but that's it. That's your hint from me, everyone. That's all I can give you.
Another hint is none of those people in the picture were founding members. So Dan Soberman, yes. Stuart Ryan and Alec Corey in the very first.
Sorry, I just had a siren going by.
Alec Corey was also the acting dean. He was the vice principal of Queen's at the time. Alec Corey was the first. He was an acting dean, but who was the first dean? This is easy.
Well, it wasn't any of the three founders, was it?
Nope. It wasn't.
Bill Letterman.
We have a winner on this one. Bill Letterman. Yeah.
Letterman.
He a leading constitutional scholar at the time. He was teaching at Dalhousie, and Alec Corey managed to recruit him to Queen's.
There we go.
And as you may remember from, or not, from reading cases in constitutional law and federalism, his work was and still is cited by the Supreme Court of Canada. What space in the law school is named in memory of the first dean?
This one I know.
It's a physical space. A place where most students spend most of their time, right, Ross?
So much time. In fact, I should be there right now. I don't know what I'm.
We have another winner. Yes, the law library, the Letterman Law Library, and it's one of the nicer spaces in the law school building. I certainly remember fondly hours and hours spent in the Letterman Law Library. Which faculty member appointed the first associate dean of graduate studies and research, launched the PhD in law program? So this person was the first associate dean of graduate studies and research, and was in that role when the PhD program in law was launched.
You have any idea who that was? Dean Walters?
No idea. Hooray!
Okay. We'll go to
2008. And the first, I can just fill you in, our first PhD in law to graduate very quickly afterwards. He finished in 2011. Was Peter Atupare he's from Ghana, returned to his own country of Ghana, and he is now a dean himself at the University of Cape Coast. So
wow.
Really wonderful story there. What year did the first woman graduate from Queen's Law?
I want to say 1962. Don't know why I think that, but that's what I'm going to go with.
You're going to go with that. Do you want to call a friend?
I don't want to use it up too early.
So, 1960. There were two women graduates, and this was the first graduating class. So the law school opened in 1957, and Geraldine Tepper and Mary Alice Murray were the first two women to graduate. The numbers remained low, though. As late as 1970, I think, 1970, there was just one woman in the class, Mary Jane Mossman, who went on to become a well-known professor at Osgoode Hall Law School. And by the way, the numbers are more than even now. We often have slightly more women in the class than men. Here's a tough one for you, Ross. Who was the first Law Student Society president elected to 2 terms, 2 years in a row?
Who was the only student crazy enough to run for re-election?
It's you, Ross.
Another way of asking my question.
And if things go badly on your exams and you have to stick around for another year, you are more than welcome to stay on.
That's so generous. I'm going to try not to take you up on that offer.
Okay. When did Queen's Legal Aid start? The clinic.
I know this because it was the 50th anniversary last year.
Yeah, so you can do the math.
So it's 1970.
So yes, the answer is 1970. Yeah. And some alumni will remember the clinic for a while was a traveling clinic and mobile and traveled to smaller communities north of Kingston. And, so it's a wonderful experience for everyone. What are the two law programs offered at the castle?
I feel like this is unfair. I did the castle program.
But you've never actually been to the castle, have you?
I haven't. No, I was a member of the first virtual cohort of students.
Yeah. One day, I hope that the students in your group the last 2 years will get a chance to visit. So international business law and international public law. Yeah. Okay. Last question. What 5 Queen's Law clinics do we have? They're all located downtown in the LaSalle Muse building.
Business, elder, family, prison. Oh, and legal aid.
Yes, that's correct. Yes. And you're going to hear from the director of legal aid in a minute, Claire Pugh. So there you go. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Anna, congratulations.
Third place. Yes. Second place. And your first place.
Third place. Anna's third place.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thanks, everyone. And thanks, Ross, for doing your best. I mean, it was okay.
I think I got like 7. That's pretty good, right? I clearly have to read your paper again. I'm sorry. I'll get to work on that. But thank you for playing with us, Dean Walters. And we're now going to be hearing from Stacia Loft. She's our new director of EDII. And Stacia, why don't you take it away?
Sego, sewa gwebon. Ayawenji sewa takarite dano wagatsanune con ikes dano skona goa wagatsanune con isewes. Hello everyone, I offer my greetings to you and hope everyone is healthy. I am well and I'm happy to be here with you today, and I'm happy that you're all here. Yega hadaki yongyats gaya gahaga ni wango and joro danon waka da hyoni. Gandege nitawagen on Donald Sego, Gandege de Giron. My name is Stacia Loft. I am Wolf Clan from the Mohawk Nation. I'm from and I live in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. I am a mother, an auntie, and a wife. I graduated Queen's Law in 2020. And in May of this year, I wrapped up articling at Amnesty International and was called to the bar. So as I was introduced, I currently serve as the Director of Indigenous Initiatives and EDII programs. And my role is to lead and support the faculty's plan to increase Indigenous and equity-seeking group representation and to foster a welcoming and diverse environment at the law school. My role is also to provide leadership in applying the Truth and Reconciliation's task force recommendations, in addition to Queen's Law's strategic plan, while developing and implementing initiatives on recruitment, retention, and support for Indigenous students. So prior to pursuing my law degree, I worked in the not-for-profit sector for about 15 years or so, managing justice, children and youth, and mental health and addictions programs, first at the Native Canadian Centre of Toronto and at the Ontario Federation of Indigenous Friendship Centres. After completing my undergrad at Western, with my then 5-year-old daughter at the time, I moved to the Kalinago territory, where I worked alongside the Kalinago people in Dominica, promoting ecotourism and cross-cultural exchanges with Indigenous youth on Turtle Island. I also served as an elected band councillor for 2 terms. I started my second term just a few months into my first year at law school. And today I serve as Deputy Grand Chief of the Association of Iroquois and Allied Indians. So I guess I could say I'm I'm a little busy at times. So in terms of the recent work I've undertaken in my role as the Director of Indigenous Initiatives and EDI programs, I'm pleased to share that Queen's Law's EDII webpage is in its final stages of review and will be available soon. The platform will serve as a source of information for current and prospective students, highlighting Queen's commitment to equity, diversity, inclusivity, and indigeneity, in addition to providing information relating to student support, available services, bursaries, and admission streams. So currently the focus of my work is centered on supporting, mentoring, providing guidance to Indigenous and Black students, in addition to collaborating on events and discussing strategic priorities with the Indigenous Law Students Alliance and the Black Law Students Association. Also to identifying and developing new professional opportunities that include research, internships, mentorships, summer and articling positions, the implementation, as you heard, of the Black student applicant process, the new admission stream this year, and also enhancing existing support services and programs and identifying new opportunities for current and prospective students. So I'd like to say Niawagoa for the time. I appreciate it. And I'm going to now hand it back to Ross.
Thank you so much, Stacia. We're now going to hear from Professor Hugo Choquette. He's an adjunct assistant professor here at Queen's Law and the academic director of the Queen's Certificate in Law program. Take it away, Professor Choquette.
Thank you very much, Ross, and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I'm not sure if you can see my screen at this point. I had a few slides, but I just wanted to provide an overview of our Certificate in Law program. I'm currently the academic director of the Certificate in Law program. So I wanted to give you an update for those of you who may not know about the program. The program launched in 2017, and it was the first of its kind in Canada. It's the first undergraduate certificate program offered by a law school in Canada. And it has really been a key part of the faculty's mission to bring legal education to a broader audience. And with the certificate program, we are reaching students in a variety of students that we would not normally reach. We have about 1,800 students registered in our courses for the entire academic year for 2020-21. So that gives you an idea of how many students are taking our courses. And to date, we've had 370 just about students graduate with an undergraduate certificate in law. So those are great, and the program continues to grow. So we're very proud of that achievement. We have a variety of students taking our courses and taking the program. Many of our students, of course, are your typical undergraduate students. Many are hoping to go to law school, and indeed, we've had several graduates of the certificate program now be admitted to the JD program at Queen's. But we also have another group of students who are mature learners, either mid-career or some are even retired and are wanting to take these courses out of interest, and they tend to do very well. And we've had many testimonials from students who have told us how much they enjoyed taking the program and how it's helped them in their professional career. And I should add, these students come from a wide variety of geographical locations as well within Canada and even abroad. We're currently offering 7 courses, of which students have to take 4 to obtain the certificate. And we're looking at the possibility of adding more courses to the ones that we currently offer, which are the following courses. And all of them are very popular. Most of the courses are designed for self-paced learning, but they also include opportunities for interaction between the teaching team and the students. And so there are many live or synchronous activities, such as tribunal simulations. There are negotiation simulations. We also have some live tutorials in some of the courses. So it does offer students an opportunity to interact with faculty at the law school. And with our teaching assistants, who are also all JD students. So these courses are all TA'd by JD students, which is another great opportunity for our students to make connections. And our courses, of course, need regular updating, and that's done by our wonderful education, development, and innovation team, who keep these courses fresh and ensure that they are really a great experience for the students. So I just want to once again thank everyone who's involved in running the certificate and putting the certificate together. It's been a great success for our program and for the faculty. And it's my pleasure to be the academic director of the program. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Professor Choquette. We're now going to hear from Blair Crew, our Director of Queen's Legal Aid. He was there, and now we've seemed to have lost him. Oh, there he is. Hi, Blair.
I'm not sure where I went there. Thanks, Ross. To all of our alumni, thank you for attending today. As you've heard, last year marked Queen's Legal Aid's 50th anniversary. Officially, we got approval to start Queen's Legal Aid on March 20th, 1970. Plans were well underway to mark this significant milestone with an appropriate celebration. However, March 20th, 1970 came almost exactly 50 years to the day before the province declared a province-wide state of emergency due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which still sees us meeting remotely today. My thinking, therefore, at this stage is that Queen's Legal Aid may just need to host one of the largest 53rd or 54th anniversary celebrations you've ever seen. Like those of us who have turned 50, one would have thought that maybe Queen's Legal Aid had become set in its ways. However, despite the pandemic, or maybe even because of it, Queen's Legal Aid's 50th year has come at a time of renewal and innovation at Queen's Legal Aid. I wanted to take a few minutes, therefore, to talk about what's new at Queen's Legal Aid. First, although it's not exactly new now, but one of the most significant developments in that 50-year path was the relocation of Queen's Legal Aid to 303 Bagot Street at LaSalle Mews in January 2015 with our sister clinics that Dean Walters previously listed. 6 years on, we can now clearly see that the individual clinics have each preserved their own unique identity while allowing a level of integration that I believe makes the Queen's Law clinical programs the finest in the country. Next, within the last 3 years, all of the staff lawyers at Queen's Legal Aid are new. I became the first staff lawyer to have the job title of Director of Queen's Legal Aid in the start of 2019. The new job title is an example of the integration of the members of the Queen's Law Clinics family, as the job title was adjusted to reflect the practice of the other Queen's Law Clinics. What this means is that I spend 100% of my time as a review counsel and the other 50% of my time as some kind of manager. I'd like to think it's not a reflection of my abilities as a manager that both of Queen's Legal Aid's veteran review counsel left shortly after I started. First, longtime review counsel Jenna Mills from Law 92 retired in 2019. A year later, her Law 92 colleague, Linda Smith, left for Fenland Falls. Apparently, having your partner appointed to become a judge of the Superior Court of Justice is a good reason to move. I feel so fortunate to have had the opportunity to work with both Jenna and Linda in my early days at Queen's Legal Aid, at a time when that meant you actually saw your work colleagues every day. However, Queen's Legal Aid is very good at growing its own talent. I was able to benefit from our own articling students, and the first two articling students I worked with at Queen's Legal Aid, Jane Mundy from Law 18 and Mary McDonald from Law 19, have now replaced Jenna and Linda. I look forward to working with both of them. A third area that's new around Queen's Legal Aid is the way that students do their work. When the pandemic started, no one was sure of how the practice of law would respond. The answer appears to be that the pandemic forced the practice of law to come to terms with the fact that people communicate electronically these days. So what's happened? A civil court that would not allow you to file documents 2 years ago now insists you must do so. Criminal courts that would require charged individuals to appear in court for remands every 3 weeks now do so through case management hearings conducted over Zoom. And Ontario's tribunals that could not facilitate electronic hearings at the start of the pandemic have now just announced that electronic hearings are going to be the default on a permanent basis. What's been remarkable to me is the way that the students have responded to these unprecedented challenges in the legal profession. And they've responded with professionalism, resilience, and enthusiasm. One of the most significant things that I've observed about the student caseworker experience is that deep sense of community that is built through time that caseworkers establish. Many students have commented to me that wherever they go in the legal profession, they always meet lawyers who say with pride that they got their start at Queen's Legal Aid. Finally, the last thing that's new at Queen's Legal Aid is not also so new, but has just found new expression. Queen's Legal Aid has always enjoyed a very deep level of support from the community. A recent outstanding example of this is the generous gift of Bogarosh and Associates from Richard M. Bogarosh of $200,000 over 5 years to support QLA's work. Shortly before that, we received a donation of $125,000 from Kingston's own Cunningham Swan, Liddy Bonham, and Little and Bonham LLP, Cunningham Swan, as everyone refers to them, to mark their 125th anniversary. I like to think that that donation was in part because their staff directory reads like a who's who of former Queen's Legal Aid students and leaders. Finally, this year saw the introduction of the Lenderkin Letterman Youth Justice Internship, a result of a $50,000 bequest from the estate of the late Justice Hugh Lenderkin. This amount allows Queen's Legal Aid to hire an additional student each year to help provide services in youth criminal justice to young people that are referred to us by Youth Diversion Kingston or the Maltby Center. I would like to thank Professor Nick Balla for connecting us with this gift, and to Justice Lenderkin's estate trustees who saw this gift as a great way to honor Justice Lenderkin's commitment to youth justice. This is just the most recent example of the kind of support that Queen's Legal Aid has enjoyed from the community and alumni, the best example of which is the ongoing support from the Law 81 Class Gift Committee, one of this year's homecoming classes, which has provided targeted funds to enhance Queen's Legal Aid's work for many years. The Law 81 Class Gift has been, quite literally, the gift that keeps giving. Queen's Legal Aid greatly appreciates the strong support we have received from our alumni ever since that first group of students demonstrated the best traditions of our profession, even before they had fully graduated. I thank you all for including Queen's Legal Aid in the event today, and we look forward to welcoming you all to our office at LaSalle Muse once this pandemic is over. Thank you very much. Ross, and back to you.
Thanks very much, Blair. So now I have the opportunity to speak to you for a couple moments about the state of the student body. As everyone's already noted, the big news, I think, is we're back in person. There's been a couple hiccups here and there, and some anxiety that, living inside for a year and a half causes. But I think just about universally, students are happy to be back in the classroom, back able to talk with each other and to hear each other participate in classes. Dean Walters kind of went over this, but when I say we're kind of back to normal, we're almost back to normal. We're all masked at all times, though our professors can take their masks off once everyone's sat down and they're a far enough distance away from us. So we can still hear the lecture, thank goodness. We're generally in bigger rooms, but they do have reduced capacity still. And I think I can't overstate how nice it is to be able to sit next to your friends in class and get through classes together, whereas a big aspect of school last year was how lonely it was. And so while the vaccine mandate may have been controversial at times, I think it's been a great success so far, and it seems to be working, keeping our students safe. We're focused now really on building back our community and our collegial spirit. A number of speakers today have already mentioned the Queen's Law collegiality And so we're working to make sure that that isn't lost over the time that we all spent online and not being able to interact and assist each other. We've revived the Law Buddy program, which matched 76 of the new 1L students with upper year buddies to get them integrated within the Queen's Law community. Clubs are eagerly hounding us to get events started, and we're still kind of working through what they can and can't do, but we have a record number of clubs ratified this year, and we're excited to see what they come up with. It's really been remarkable to talk to other law students from across the country over the last 3 years and reflect with them about the atmosphere of their law schools and how unique the culture at Queen's here really is. I think students come to Queen's for that culture, and I think it's something very distinct about our brand. And I think it's, like folks have already said today, it's our greatest asset. We're hoping to involve alumni in our network a bit more, though, with the LSS. And we're keen to hear from any interested alumni who wants to play a more active role in engaging with students in ways like Julie mentioned through the Career Development Office, but also in more informal ways. One great example of that is Justice Stratus of the Federal Court of Appeal and I are planning to give a little talk on building professional relationships. And so we're always looking for Queen's Law alumni who are willing to give some time to talk to our students about different programs. And we're going to hear from one of those students now, actually. It's my pleasure to bring to the stage Cara. Cara, I forgot to ask you how to pronounce your last name, and I don't want to...
Thank you, Ross. It's Cara Arsenault. It's one of those names.
This is Cara Arsenault.
Both ends. Lucky for you.
There you go.
Thank you so much, Ross. First of all, I'm very thrilled and honored to be here. I am among the freshest year of recruits into the Queen's community. And while, Ross, I can't confirm or comment on what the collegiality at Queen's used to be, I can say that myself and all of my classmates, we've been blown away by the community that we have been experiencing. The staff, the students, so my classmates, as well as the upper years, the professors, everyone's been wonderful and amazing. The world is kind of uncertain and tipsy-turvy still, or topsy-turvy, sorry. But it's been, we feel confident. We know that because staff and students went through everything they did figuring it out last year, we're okay. We know that there are plans in place. And so it's a privilege, honestly, for us to have to worry about it less this year, while we're still trying to figure out, okay, what is a case brief and how do I make sure it's usable by the time I get to an exam? But we also don't have to worry, will I actually be able to attend a lecture if things do get shut down last minute? So I'm going to try and be brief here, but I'm very glad that I chose Queen's. I haven't talked to anyone that isn't thrilled that they chose Queen's, and I do think there's something in the water. So thank you to everyone for talking and for having me here. Russ, back to you.
Thank you, Cara. We're very happy to have you here, and it's been one of the most exciting
might have a
parts.
connection issue.
Say it again. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, there we go.
There we go.
Ross, I'm not sure if you're muted or if I have a tech issue.
Okay. I think we'll keep going. We're going to hear from a 2L, Varda Anwar. She'll join me on the stage in a moment, I believe. Here we are. Hi, Varda.
Hi, Ross. Thank you.
Anyway.
So I'm going to keep it super short and brief because we've been here a while, but of course I'm going to start off by saying thanks to Ross for hosting this. Thank you, Dean Walters, all the professors at Queen's Law, the administration for putting up this event, and especially the alumni for being here today and participate in this homecoming. I'm here to represent the 2L class. Just to give a little bit of a background, I guess, or I'm sure you guys already know, our year is especially unique. So when we entered law school, it was completely online, or it was hybrid for a bit, and then we shifted completely online. So we really did participate in a Zoom School of Law. And coming into this year, it's interesting to see the sort of parallels, because we as a class are entering our second year of law school, and we as a society are entering a second year of the pandemic. So it's quite the situation to be in. A lot has changed. Like everybody said, we are back in person. We've had to adjust to an online world, and now we have adjusted to a new reality that's true for a post-pandemic world, which is combining the virtual reality, the virtual aspects like homecoming being online and being in person. So there's a lot of adjustments that have been made over the course of 2 years. But we are extremely, extremely grateful for the admin and for the school for trying to make it as smooth as possible. Going through these adjustments in person as students has not been a walk in the park. So I don't know how it's been administrating these changes and the ever-changing times. So it's been a lot. And of course, and I'll speak to, our year, especially as we've just gone through, or not gone through, we're actually in the midst of the lovely 2L Recruit, which is being held online. So we just finished our OCIs a couple of weeks ago. We have interview week coming up. That is fully online while we're attending our in-person classes. And so to make sure that, we're all sort of sane and good, we've had to make a lot of adjustments, and we're really glad for the hardworking administration, the amazing CDO team, without whose help none of the 2L class would have survived first year, or the recruit, and the kind professors who have understood the realities of our time. I would also like to take this time just to wrap it up to thank the alumni for their continued support and the understanding and the changes that Queen's Law has gone through in the past 2 to 3 years. It is integral for the growth of both students and the school to have your support and to support our little community. And so we're really, just continuously grateful for you to be participating every year and to support us. I'm going to welcome back Ross just to wrap things up.
Hello. Thank you, Varda. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. I know earlier I said we were going to have a question and answer period, but we are running a bit behind schedule. So we're going to close it up now. The session was recorded. If you'd like to send it to someone or access it later on, that will be possible. Thank you to all our panelists today. And thank you to you, the alumni, for coming out and supporting us, like Varda said. We really appreciate it. Happy homecoming, everyone. Have a great day and a great weekend.